So you must know what your strengths are and know what your weaknesses are. Anyone who comes on board with me, right, has to share that collective mindset. So you must know why you're starting your business, because then that will be the journey that your consumers, your customers will go with you.
Hey there, you're watching the Chill MomBoss Show, where we believe that your MomBoss goal is possible with a little bit of determination and the right strategies. And with that, we like to give you more inspirations by interviewing mompreneurs like Sarah Lau today from E&S Blessing. Sarah is a mother of two beautiful daughters, Emma and Sophia, who are also the inspirations behind E&S Blessing, a social enterprise she founded in 2017 to celebrate mother and child through gifting of quality, sustainable, and stylish baby, child to women curated products. That's a mouthful.
It is.
And a portion of E&S Blessing proceeds go to support single mothers under VWO, which is a new term that I just learned, Voluntary Welfare Organization, HCSA Day Spin Program.
That's right.
And tell me, what's E&S Blessing?
So E&S Blessing was really started as an initiative that I wanted to kind of grow within home ground. It really was birthed up from the beginning when I started having kids, and then people would come by and give me gifts that I like, okay, a bit old school, like the kind you get from the hospital, right? And I was like, okay, I will appreciate them. And then from there it kind of evolved, especially when I started moving to give gifts to my friends. Because I had my kids pretty early. I had my Emma and Sophia when I was 26 and then 27.
Oh.
So most of my friends only started having kids closer to like the late 20s to 30s, and then that's when I really opened my eyes and realized, okay, there's really nothing much to gift, especially if you're very busy working. You don't have time to kind of go down to a store, wrap the present. And so it really came from that idea to celebrate. I think every newborn that comes, we feel very excited. We're going to go and visit our friends in a hospital.
Yeah.
And it's that celebratory kind of like mode that we kind of go into. And I wanted to find something that was convenient, accessible, that really celebrated every mother and child. And I think the deeper core meaning that I wanted to go from there was like, it's very easy to start something that is like very surface level, like but I think that's why we ended up terming E&S, which I actually named after Emma and Sophia, to kind of be more like a social enterprise, which was actually a very new term back in 2017. It only kind of started in the 2016 wave. The intention behind it was that I think I wanted it to bring a bit more meaning into our community, and I think you and I identify with the how tough it is, right, to be a mother and to raise your children. And what more if you raise them alone as a single parent?
Right.
So, and I don't think they have the community that we do. And even with our community, we're like, whoa,
we're still frazzled.
Like we have our parents, our grandparents, and we're still like, wow, this is intense. And so we wanted to really lend that support to them from a financial perspective. We didn't want to be a VWO because there were existing ones already that needed help and support. So we didn't really need to kind of go into that space.
Yeah, correct.
We wanted to kind of like in
support behind
in addition
them.
to our call to kind of celebrate every mother and child, to celebrate that they too are mothers and they too also have their own struggles. And the idea behind E&S is to build it to be a sustainable company, so that eventually we can also onboard them as kind of like people who are interested maybe to start their own businesses. We can kind of mentor them along, which I will showcase later some of the products that we have started, as well as for those who have skill sets to move within the organization, to give them more like a flexi kind of working environment.
Okay.
Because I think,
are you currently employing some of them?
we are hoping to move into that sometime next year.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do have plans in motion for that. We're obviously starting with the first wave of helping those who are interested in start their own businesses first, onboard their products, and then help them to showcase them, which I will showcase later.
So you mean like they will have the product and then you help them?
Correct. So some of them have really great ideas.
I see.
And they want to be mompreneurs. The reality that they have is very similar to most moms who are interested to start businesses. Is like they have limitations. Like some of them can't leave the house because of whatever reasons. Single moms are a bit more vulnerable in that sense because they tend to come from a lower income perspective. So it's not like they can send their multiple children to all like the childcare services and get a job that can afford that. So we work around those kind of like frameworks. Correct. Great. And then really showcasing the main things like what you need to consider when you want to start your own business. We mentor them through those, being like having done that ourselves.
I see. Cool.
Correct. And then like because we already have like the platforms to kind of showcase them, so we do it through those.
Okay, so if we do have like single moms watching this, and so they can get in touch through you through this HCCA Dayspring.
Yeah, HCSA Dayspring.
HCSA. Okay. So they just Google it and there'll be like
so
a
HCSA
contact.
Dayspring is a VWO that kind of has program that supports single mothers. They do a very holistic approach, so not just financial. They mainly focus at psychological, emotional, and all other like aspects that they partner you with kind of like a person that journeys with you through, and then obviously helps you to build the additional support. Then like resources like ours will come in to partner them. So that we can kind of onboard them with the right resources.
Correct. And then it's called like guide them through
independence.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're a bit of a unique kind of partnership that we have with them.
Oh, interesting. Very good. So would you like to show us some of your products?
So I thought I could show
that?
some of the one of the products that was made by a single mom. So we started journeying with this one mom. Her name is Madam Kabiba, and so she has a skill set for sewing, but she hasn't been able to find employment for a while because I think she was a homemaker, and then after that she became a single parent. So we decided to kind of help her out to try to grow that sewing expertise that she has. And what we do is we curate, actually, as you know, we are curators, right? So we actually curate the cloths to help her to really groom that skill to say, hey, these are the kind of cloths you need to kind of grow in a direction so that they are more sellable, right? We talk about in terms of marketabilities and sales. So it's great that she has a skill set, but you kind of have to have that kind of like eye for it as well. So which is where we come in and partner her. So like we decided to move into the area of aprons. The reason is because we realized in the market there isn't like really
nice
aprons, especially for kids. Unfortunately, like I've been to Europe and like it's very common there because I think the children kind of get involved in cooking, and I think also not just cooking in terms of play. They're very like like you talk about Japan, Korea, they kind of have that very cute Japanese cross apron. So we wanted to kind of bring that into the local market, utilizing her skill set. So it comes in a little drawstring bag, and like each of them, we have a couple of designs. So I'll just showcase one of these designs today. She has made this. They come in sizes, I think 3 to 4, and then we have about 5 to 6 to 7 kind. This is what we do by Japanese cross, we say, so that the reason why we decided not to go against the neck kind, although we do have some, is we find that over time the children might have a bit of a strain on their neck, right? Especially they're wearing for a while, even though the cloth that we have chosen is very soft. So we've done this so that they can kind of be used more like an art apron or like something they do with cooking. So we have them in this range, which is more plain, and then we also have those that are like fuller. So if I could showcase the next one, which we have like in this one, which is like a mother and child. So
it's like matching.
Correct. Because like you kind of like want to be in that space where we want to promote like the mother and child bonding, which I feel is very, very important, especially in Singapore context. We're so busy. Sometimes we just don't know what to do with our kids, and we wanted to move into that
do
space.
something together.
Correct. So we have like mother, correct, which is like this, with big pockets, so you don't really know what you're gonna put in. Like the same way we decided to do it by cross. So behind you kind of like put them through the slots and then tie them. You have the matching set with the child as well.
It's so cute.
Yeah, correct. So like
mommy, daughter baking session,
like with pockets and all. So these are actually they're actually stitched by herself. Yes. So I think we're not as she continues to grow, we're not very particular about super neat stitching, even though her stitching is really, really good already. We want to really highlight that really this is the part of the initial programs that we're starting to mentor our single mothers, and hopefully get the support of our community. Yeah, so like with every sale made, obviously they will make money from all their aprons, correct? And hopefully with that it helps them to grow.
Yeah, it gives them a bit of
revenue,
confidence that
correct.
they work for it.
Exactly. So yeah, we will hope to be distributing this in our October launch online, and as well as to some of our distribution channels. So we will highlight that at a later stage once we confirm where they'll be going.
Oh, okay. You can let me know later. We can put it in the
sounds
show notes and say you can get this at different stockish.
So apart from that, we also have this new range. So like other than the single moms kind of like range, we also, like I said, we are curators. So we this is basically our E&S box. It usually comes with like a cover. So this season we have brought in a brand from America. It's called Doodle & Co. As we said, we find that like we don't really have very good testifiers here. We have a ton of brands, to be honest. When we became a mom, I honestly only had the Nook kind. Yes. There weren't all these we brought in Hevia before, and now this season we really want to work with Doodle & Co. The reasons, firstly, you can see they're very bright, very exciting. They come in multiple colors. And one of the issues we have with pacifiers is that when you drop on the ground, you have to wash them. Obviously, they land in I don't know where.
Yeah, so this one pops.
This one, yes,
it.
exactly. So the moment it hits the ground, right, they have a patent for it that it forms a bubble and protects the nipple.
I thought I've seen this before. Were they on Shark Tank?
They were on Shark Tank. Yeah, season 9, episode 19.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, so we wanted to kind of showcase this to Singapore. So we're hoping to build this here and to really showcase those brands here. So that's exactly what we do at E&S. We find curate really quality brands as mothers for mothers to kind of bring that on board. Yeah.
So your background is in law.
Correct.
And you're still working as a lawyer, you say.
I am.
So what brought you into, curating products and starting a business? Why did you want to start this? Besides, wanting to help.
I think earlier I shared with you that were really much of the motivating factors. I think as I went into motherhood, I wanted to go a bit deeper. Also with the kind of things I wanted to do in my life. I think that challenges you as a person once you enter motherhood, right? You're forced to kind of grow. And I wanted to kind of paint a worldview of what possibilities you can go in, especially for my children. I think maybe that was partially why I named it after them. Although, to be honest, I also couldn't find a name to name. I went for the H&M approach, because nobody really knows what H&M stands for. So I kind of went for that. And so I think that was really, you're right, there's quite a stretch coming from legal. But I think as a mom, I wanted to really journey with other moms and really build that kind of community in terms of the market space. I find that as mothers, honestly, our market is so saturated with so many different types of products. And as a new mom coming in, right, it can be very overwhelming. You go to the baby fair, you're like, wow, 20 brands of strollers, which one do you go for, and as mothers you want the best for your child, right? And a lot of times it's at that decision making. So we wanted to also carry that piece in there and saying that, look, we know what we're doing, we know what we're talking about. When we introduce a product to you, we have considered them over many products, and this is why we feel they're great. Hopefully we're not trying to add to the noise. We're trying to really give you more of an informed decision. So we started this mom life, which is to journey with moms, to give them more of those sneak peeks, to give them more exclusive updates, hopefully to move into editorials as well, to try to draw that and say look, this is great and this is why we think we're great, and we leave it to you whether you would like to consider them and hopefully get an extra discount with those brands or whatever, right? Yeah, so I think that was really one of the motivating factors. I wanted to move into that area. I see.
But then how do you do it all with your existing profession with the kids, and then with this, do you have a team in E&S?
Yes. So when I started this, I think that's a bit like me. Like I think my friends know if I have a great idea and I go, boom, let's do it, right? And then I realize when I'm in, I'm like, okay, I can't do this.
I can do this alone at least.
Literally, that's what happened. So I had the idea in April 2017. I started the company around August, and I went straight into like, if you started with us in the beginning, you have seen all our initial products and how we kind of brought that. And then I realized, okay, I can't do this alone. Obviously, the first person that started with me, as always, is my sister. And so I think my sister kind of like surrendered a long time ago. I kind of have great ideas, and she's like
just always rope her in. Like,
and like
I've got no choice.
She's like the ideal person because my sister's an accountant by training, and so she knows how to manage money, right? And so my only message to her is like, please make sure that I make money and I don't spend beyond like the money that I have, right? Because at the end of the day, no matter how excited I want to build a sustainable business.
Correct.
So that
it has to be practical.
Correct. And then I think a couple months down, I realized that no, I think it was really picking up quite a lot of like traction in the community, and I was like, no, I definitely can't handle this on top of my job, which is actually very demanding. And so I put in people who are very, very much different from me. I think that's very important when you consider starting a business, is you must know what your strengths are and know what your weaknesses are. I think it's not about a finger pointing exercise, but I think that awareness brings about building the right partners, especially if you want to build a business with partners. So like I stress, my sister's in for a reason. I am not good with numbers. I think numbers and I are just not friends. And like I think Excel and I are not friends, and naturally, right? So like I brought in Isabel, who does social media, because I think like social media is involved from the time we started, right? So she kind of helped us to build that branding, the marketing. How do we like have that image in the front, which is why now you see the very bright confetti colors and like very more
that was
theme.
all her.
Correct. And then she gave us that coaching. Then obviously we have now our business partner Amy. Amy and I are very different. I think I'm more like the crazy one, and Amy's the one that reins me in and goes, no, like you have to know what you're doing. And I think that's really, really good to have that person to kind of go, okay, I have a great idea, but what do you think about it? And she's like, no, it's not going to bring in the profits that we need, or like from a more like business perspective, which is very good to balance out the decision making skills. So I think that is one of the considerations. And because we have, like I think currently now we have 3 of us in a team, it helps us to balance out that kind of work. So I mainly do like the more front-facing customers, manage the platforms, and then Amy does more like the inventory, the suppliers, and then my sister does more like the back-end accounting. So then you see, when with that already, it's a lesser of a load for me.
It's a lot, exactly.
Taking out everything. Correct,
definitely. Okay, I'd like to ask more about Amy, because I'm sure like a lot of mompreneurs out there, they start a business alone or have an idea alone. So how do you bring on a partner? So do you go out there, and is it like, was she a friend, or is it just purely
so Amy and I, we knew each other coincidentally actually through a mutual friend. And our kids, we actually had our kids around the same time. So we actually were playgroup mamas, right?
Okay.
And I didn't really know Amy that well then, because I think when you are in a playgroup setting, your focus is on the children.
You don't get to mingle.
Correct. Like, hello, then we start talking about mom topics, like, what do you do when your child doesn't sleep, right? It's more like kind of like mom level. You don't really know the person in terms of like their interests, where you want to go. And I think because we kind of had that friendship, and then we both kind of went back into full-time after the maternity and everything. So I think there was a period of time we met up for lunch, and that was really the time when we kind of got to know each other. And one thing that really drew me to Amy was like, I think her eye for curating really great products. And I would say it's very similar to my taste. At the end of the curation is very subjective. Like some people might think this is nice, but if you have disagreement within the group, then sometimes it's a give and take. But even I very aligned in that sense. And we look at it and we're like, yeah, that's a great product. And also I think that really helps us to kind of drive in terms of the curation efforts. So and I think like I really like the way that she was so different from me. I think most people are very intimidated.
So did you bring it up? Did you like, hey Amy, would you be interested to be part of this?
So I told her when I recall when I met her, I was just thinking about the idea, and I remember broaching it with her, saying, hey, I'm thinking about this idea. What do you think about it? And I think she gave me some pointers, like, you know, you should really be mindful of like, you know, who are the customers that you're going to go for, like what kind of like branding you're going to go for. So she gave me a lot of this kind of like business tips, like things to be aware of, and then it kind of sparked my mind, okay, Amy knows what she's talking about. Like yes, okay, and then I kind of moved along, and then along the way I realized, okay, Amy's exactly the person I need right now. And so I rang her, I'm like, Amy, look, I know this is very random, but I need you, and I would like you to consider like coming on board with me as a partner. Yeah, so I think because for me, I didn't really have a very I didn't really have the approach that this is my business. I think it really depends on your approach as well. Like for me, I think I wanted to, for this business at the ultimate end, to benefit the single mom community and the community in general. It was a collective, so then anyone who comes on board with me, right, has to share that collective mindset, and not like we're here to make money and only money, and like we're just gonna be any other business out there, which is fair enough. But I think that vision is deeper for us, and so I think Amy shared with me that vision as well, being like, you know, a mom herself. She understands like the kind of struggles, and I think that really helped, and she really bought into that vision that I was trying to build. I think just everything really clicked.
So finding a partner who has the same vision, who has the same purpose, who complements you in terms of skill sets, and of course know what she's talking about. And that you two are on the same page when it comes to product creation and what you want to offer to the market.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so that's it. If there's only one thing that you can share with mompreneurs or aspiring mompreneurs out there, what would you say?
My friend recently introduced me to this book, which I have not read. I put it out there first. Although I was given a very top-down summary of it, which I thought was actually something that was very important, which we were hoping to read it together. So she's also a mompreneur herself. And she was telling me all about this book called Know Your Why by Simon Sinek.
Oh yes,
right?
Yes.
And the essence of this book is really about businesses that know their why are the ones that really succeed in the business world. Because people buy into your purpose. People buy into that genuine need to start something because there's something that needs to be filled in the community. Apple being one of them, for example. So Apple like started with that approach to know your why, and I think that really struck a chord with me, because I didn't realize it until my friends kind of raised it that was exactly how I started E&S.
Because
like,
you know your why.
I know my why.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so like everything kind of came up from there. So I would really challenge mompreneurs, especially when you start business, right, to go deeper, to know why you're starting your business, because then that will be the journey that your consumers, your customers will go with you. And those are really the businesses I feel that will make a difference and will go the next level in some of the business world. You know, at the end of the day, I think running a business is a marathon. Not all businesses make it at the end of the day. You have those that will make it for the first 2 years, and then obviously some the first 5 years, and then they'll make it after that. So I think also have that mindset that you have to be prepared for the marathon. And really know your why. If really the tips.
The why would carry you through the tough times. And because sometimes you get like, business is not like that. It's kind of like you get in the middle, the muddle a lot, and
the why will really be the one that will motivate you to go and go, okay, I know why I'm doing this, and let's keep pushing.
And to so that the customer knows your why as well, so that they know why you're doing what you're doing. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. Actually, that's also one of the books that I just recommended on my Instagram recently, which I also haven't read.
You should read it. You should really read it.
Because you're kind of like, okay, I kind of know the gist, but do we really have time to like flip it through? Because you're so busy, I'm sure you are too as well. So, okay, I will one day to like get really deep into it, so that we have more to share about this concept. Okay, thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode. I will share where you can find E&S Blessing's product on their website. It will be in the show note, and more stock is coming out.
Yes,
okay?
hopefully.
Yeah, okay. And if you enjoyed this show, please share with your friends and family. And thank you for spending your time with us today. Bye-bye. Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah.